Holla! What do you know?
And welcome to the Leafcast. My name is Ryan, and joining me as always is my brother Dan. And today we have a super duper extra special show. That's right, we have combined forces once again with the Wheel Reads First Time Reader Show, and we are going to have all of the first time readers join us on one stage. We will conduct a thorough interview. We'll make sure everyone's. Anyways, blah blah. I'm having a hard time, Dan. You're rocking too hard. You're rocking too hard.
Did you see me doing the robot?
I did. Well, here, I wanna banter with this.
Hey,
man.
what's up?
Yeah. Yep, got you. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, are you ready? And CoT and Alan.
Hey.
All right.
Hi.
Second favorite puppet. I should have made a little line like flesh puppet.
What did Ryan say? Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Good stuff.
Ryan is like a tech god.
All right, so Alan, let's talk broadly. When did you start your first time reader show?
That would have been in January of 2020.
And you've kept the same first time readers for this entire time, correct?
Correct.
That in and of itself is a feat.
Well, I keep them locked in my basement, so it makes it really easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What do you feed them?
Mostly just like cornmeal. Occasionally, if they're good, and they're good little boys, I give them maybe some Oreos. But
all right,
do they put the lotion on the skin?
Yeah, I think the hose again. Yeah.
All right, so you just let Chris go to church every week? Because I've definitely seen footage of him there.
It's all green screen.
Okay. Is your whole boat thing? Is that all green screen too?
It's all green screen.
Oh shit!
Green screen.
You're so good.
Yeah.
You're getting so good.
So, guys, here's what we're doing. Here, the three of us are evil masterminds that are subjecting our first-time readers through now years of regimented reading and fierce discussions about it. Like Alan said, he started January 2020. We started in April. I think, yeah, just a couple months after that.
During the dark days.
During the dark days. And we've had first-time readers. We are the ones that know the book. We know how it ends. We've read it a bunch. Yeah. And yet we are making people read on our dictum, on our timeline, and recording about it on our page. We are we're evil gods right now.
Yeah.
When it comes to Wheel of Time. But we do have first-time readers, and so what we decided with this show, we are going to bring all the first-time readers in and just let them talk. We're not going to. We may prompt a little bit, but they're just going to talk about the book and do their shit. We talk too much, right, Alan?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Speaking of which. See what I did there?
Clever girl.
I'm too clever by half. Too clever by a quarter. Too clever by a third.
How dare you?
Oh,
Oh wow.
They're reading. Oh.
And
Sorry.
okay, we have Arrow 404.
After
Kuma, you are muted, my friend.
Greetings.
Oh no, K Shizzle.
Here.
All right,
K Shizzle and D's Bizzle.
this is amazing.
Lovely.
Hi everyone.
Hello. I go to make this is awkward.
Okay, Shizzle, we can't hear you. Nope.
No,
Not that button.
Nope. Not
no,
that
keep
one.
pushing.
Oh,
It's not that button either.
The
That
fact
Lower.
that we are made
Oh, not that button.
Are you sending yourself chest signals using your vibrating butt plug there?
Again,
Why do I
don't
feel
we
like?
get with spankings. I didn't read the whole thing. I thought
Why
you
do I feel like Ian's at the dentist right now?
I've had a long day. Also, I'm committed to bringing the quality of your show down. So you guys are in production
That's why you're
status.
shooting in vertical.
I'm laying in a beanbag chair with my phone because I'm struggling.
Hey, can you turn that bad boy sideways? No. Rotate the phone this way. Rotate it. Burp. Yeah. Yeah. See,
Yeah, you were
Ryan the
right.
tech god. Ryan the tech god.
Ryan the Tech God. Yeah, that
Sideways.
looks great. Yeah, that looks great. It's like we're talking to Odin.
Oh
yeah.
I feel like I'm a crow
That's
on your
weird.
shoulder.
When the show starts out with Ryan the Tech God, fuck, we're in for a mess. Oh my god.
Best
What could
show
go wrong?
ever.
Technologic.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Technologic.
All right, so Ian and Chris are with the wheel reads. We have Josh and Kay Sizzle. She'll be back any
Chris is-
moment now. Oh, is she even there? But anyways, yeah. So guys, we are mean. We put you through shit. I guess Ian and Chris, talk about when Alan talked about doing this show, and I guess talk about like how you've experienced it so far. Give me your history, I guess.
Can I start by saying that Alan and I have known each other for a while, since beginning of high school, and he's had a lot of big ideas in his life, and some of them pan out, and I just kind of figured this was something that wasn't going to pan out, so I said yes. Little did I know that when he was like, "Hey, we're going to read a ton of books for years, plural, and talk about them very slowly," little did I know that was actually going to happen. Yeah, so here we are. Yeah, but I'm loving it, though.
Did he have the spreadsheet handy when he projected this to you? How old is the spreadsheet? Is it as old as the show itself?
Spreadsheet. How
Well,
old is it?
This is some good behind the scenes. Alan was developing the spreadsheet as he was kind of talking to Chris and I and putting this together.
Is
So
it
we
weird
were
how
there.
old
We actually got to witness some of the makings of the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I don't know if I can tell how old it is. It's been around
Yeah.
for a long time. now. What?
Have you
Yeah, I
stuck to it?
Loosely.
Loosely?
We have manipulated that sheet for him. There's the one-off dude. I
The,
just can't
the
stand it.
spreadsheet was really just to collect data on his opponents.
Oh, it used to be. I keep doing that because I got lazy. But I did that for a
The
long
scouting
time.
report?
I did that for a long time. But I don't do it anymore just because I don't
He-
have time. I did during
Yeah.
COVID mostly because I had a lot of time. Have you been on sheets? Oh, Dana, you know how the sheets are. It's crazy. So yeah, the spreadsheets. They're
We do have
big,
access. to
crazy and
We
yeah.
just don't go into them.
So what is the spreadsheet?
Oh, my spreadsheets. I spreadsheet everything. Like
That's the
that's all I
slide.
do.
Now, when he says everything, in the very beginning, like after Chris and I signed on, by the time we got to like the first or second episode, Alan had it broken down exactly, what chapters we were doing on what dates and how far along would be and blah, 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 like the entire thing to the end. And that's really when it sank in by like the first few episodes when he was talking about it on the show.
Right.
And then
Oh,
he threw
that's-
dates out there like, and we'll be on this book in 2025. I was like, wait a minute, 2025?
No.
Yeah.
It's worse than that. I have page numbers, like how many page count
How
and
many
word count
words?
for every single episode that we record.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need a copy of that, I think.
The sheets go deep, man.
Yeah,
So-
I'm feeling super adequate, Dan.
I'm feeling sub.
I feel like that's a double drinking obligation.
So the funny thing is, the name of the sheet is actually GC. Because actually, I didn't think this podcast was going to go anywhere, and I had been playing Golf Clash on my phone, and I was mapping out all the different golf clubs in that cell phone game. So I just named the spreadsheet GC, and then I just over that started doing the Wheel of Reed stuff, and that I never changed the name of it, so it still says GC on it after all these years.
Awesome.
That's nothing.
this
That's
is
how
just
much.
a 6-year side quest. This isn't even a
I
real
don't play Golf
project.
Clash anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We're just winging it.
Yeah, for real. I didn't even get
Yes.
that nice of an introduction to it. It was just like, I shouldn't say that. Alan was very kind. So I met Alan through his wife, and because she was one of the captains on my track squad in college, and we were talking Game of Thrones one day at a mixer that we had for alumni because we went to the same university, and we got to talking about that. And then I don't know what, a couple months later, I get a phone call. It's like, hey, I know you loved Game of Thrones. Have you read The Wheel of Time? I'm like, no, don't know what it is.
Crown is
He's like, perfect. You want to like maybe do a podcast with me? Read the book, do a podcast. I heard book singular. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm newly single. I have plenty of free time, but I also have other things I want to do. I was like, if you could find another sucker to do it, sure, why not? And he's like, good, because you're the other sucker. I'm like,
Chris Vivian.
he's like, don't worry, we're starting at the first of the year. You'll come by the house, have some drinks, and then we'll do the first episode. And for those that have watched, it was a very rough first few weeks, few episodes.
We've been through some stuff.
Yeah, literally, you can map out my entire relationship into my marriage. You can, hear about the worst of my life in some aspects, and the best of my life in other aspects, and everything in between. So it's really been more than just podcasting about a book. So,
So we had started off with a first-time reader named Todd. Todd hung with us valiantly. He had it was becoming an issue with his family situation, so he had to step back, and we got Cases and Josh, and so let's since I think the
Carrie.
dog,
Now we have Carrie,
and we have Carrie as well. Yeah, yes, and gosh,
And then there were 3.
Carrie cannot make it today. She's on a family vacation, but
she's watching.
she would have loved to be
so
here
late.
for sure.
Yeah, I love doing this so much that I actually spun off and created a second podcast called the Cosmere Reads, where I found 2 more friends to do the same thing with the Cosmere. So
That's awesome.
it's fun. Yeah, I'm just gonna get all my friends just to hate me. Deep hatred.
Because you're making them all do
aiming.
podcasts.
Yeah, because I'm making them do podcasts and read books painfully slow.
It's
the
a
slow
very
reading.
odd way.
He's trying to become nameless, so he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
You building an empire there?
Building an empire. Working on it.
We'll have the Wheel Reads Con.
The Will Reads Con. We thought about doing a con a few years ago, and we got really close to doing something, and then we're just too lazy, or just logistics are really tough.
Well, you kept proposing Waterworld, and we're like, no, not everyone has boats, Alan.
Yeah, he's like, we're all just gonna meet 10 miles.
So it'd be really, really cool. Like where we live would actually be really cool for a con, because like if we did like at the Mariners Museum, like they have like white lions on this bridge, like it's called Lions Bridge, and there's white lines on it, and then right around the corner there's a statue. The name of the statue is Celine.
Yeah,
And
no joke. Can't make it up.
It has all the theme stuff already right there. Like, if we could rent out the space, it would be fantastic for a con.
All right, well, let's start this conversation off. Why are you all dark friends?
Oh, just me.
It's Alan.
It's just you.
Alan's the only dark friend.
I'm the only.
Oh, I thought.
Okay. Well, why are you not a dark friend? Let's talk about that, Chris.
Shadow Pal.
Ian, why are you not
Shadow
a Shadow Pal?
Because the first rule of being a shadow pal is we don't talk about being shadow pals.
Right.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a strong point.
I don't say nothing.
If I was a shadow pal, would I tell you?
Well, Painter told Rand
Hadar also got knocked off.
You know my boy Pater?
See?
I mean,
He
who's
only did it
Pater?
for the t-shirt. He only
Who's
did it
Pater?
for the t-shirt.
He did it for the T-shirt. He didn't know what he was getting into.
Exactly.
Okay, so wait, are you guys shadow pals, or are we just getting a very vague non-answer answer?
Would you like
Look
a
at their
t-shirt?
lighting.
Would you like a t-shirt?
I hate to break it to you, but there's a little shadow in all of us. And if you haven't found yours yet, it's only a matter of time.
Oh no, I know
I'm
my
a
shadow
big
pal.
shadow.
Thank you.
There you go.
Jesus.
All right, so Kay, you did you know about this series before Ryan? Before you knew that we did the show?
Yeah, I did. I knew about it, but and I had tried like to read it a very long time ago, but I didn't get very far, and I didn't remember anything from it. It just wasn't like important to me. It wasn't. It just, I never got into it. So, but because it was so important to Ryan, I was like, well, there's got to be something to this. So then I started, reading it, and then hang out. It was fun.
Beautiful.
Oh, she saved the show. Like, she hustled and like plowed through the books to catch up because we knew we were losing Todd. And then she was our only first time reader for a little hot minute, and then Josh came in, but yeah, like she was the glue. It was amazing.
The binder.
You're welcome.
So Josh, you did catch up to the books as well, to where you could join the show. You started reading because of the show?
I mean, I read Eye of the World when I was 12.
That was probably a
then
tough
never,
read for a 12-year-old.
it didn't hook me at the time.
Yeah.
Did you know there were other books and you just chose?
No, I think it was, there might not, the second book might have just come out when I read it. Let's see.
Have Alan check his sheets. It's in the sheets.
I was a late
It was
comer.
probably more- so the first 3 books would have been out
Yeah.
when I read it. Yeah.
Yeah.
1991.
Oh wow.
Oh.
It was way before I read it.
But yeah, that's the only one I ever read.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Wait, you were 12 in 1991?
Mhm.
You don't look like you'd be that old.
I am indeed.
Young at heart.
Yeah.
Well, still young.
Still young.
Forever young.
I was like coming out of pull-ups and putting on, real underwear in 91.
You got that Aes Sedai ageless beauty there, Josh.
Yeah.
You do.
Working for you.
Wait. Isn't, if you have Aes Sedai ageless beauty, don't you look older than you do when you're not an Aes Sedai?
Well,
can't
we
But
don't-
I think you look older, but in a younger way.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
look older, but in a
you look like you had
Like plastic surgery.
Yeah.
plastic surgery. That's as far as I understand. Yeah, the Kin look young at 600, whereas the Aes Sedai look like they're a famous actress who had plastic surgery at
Oh,
40.
well,
That
then
all
you
has to do
aged
with
like a
Rock.
fine kin.
Yeah.
there you go.
You ain't got no ride yet.
Ian.
He has the rod. I sent it to him.
Yeah, so go ahead. I mean, just fucking jump in, guys. So
I have a
mean,
question.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Right on.
So Josh and I have discussed a certain character in the book that we think that Robert Jordan kind of like reflects as himself. But have you guys talked about, or are there any characters in the book that you think maybe Robert Jordan like sees himself in more than others? Have you talked about or thought about it, or just curious? Because that was a really fun conversation.
I mean, Tom, but that's just instinctual guessing. But otherwise, no, I have not at all thought about that question.
It hasn't really come up, but gosh, you would think somebody who writes this much, like he's got to put himself into the book. I don't know why we haven't really discussed it before. Maybe.
No, like,
That's
Josh
cheap.
So
knows
of the,
is
let's
like
let me,
that.
let's frame it differently. Of the Tamarin characters in the book,
Oh, it's different.
if you were Robert Jordan, who would you write yourself as?
Perrin.
Okay. What about you,
Ooh.
Chris?
I like that answer. I instinctually go to the worst of the people. Not worst. I went straight to Matt. Like, why not? Matt is a fun character. Matt is a storyteller. Matt is kind of the goody two shoe, but kind of hidden underneath this layer of like mystique. Not mystique, because it's not at all mysterious. But he under mischief. That's the word I was looking for.
Mischievous.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Who did you guys
Josh,
think?
tell them your theory.
I mean, so Chris, I mean, we're in line with you. I mean, I read him as writing himself as Matt, but it mostly has to do with the. I don't know if you're familiar with the term timbre, but like in music, there's like different timbres to different sounds, right? You can have the same sound in different timbres, and I feel like the timbre of the way that he writes Matt feels very much like he's writing it from a first-person perspective.
Yeah.
And there's this familiarity and.
Matt is definitely the warmest character without being.
Ease, yeah, there's an ease or warmth by which he writes Matt that I find feels like he most identifies with him as a character.
And we connect the easiest with Matt. I don't care who you are reading this book. Everybody likes Matt for one reason or another.
Yeah, he's very relatable, right? He's the most like authentically real person that we can kind of relate to, I think. Just in a lot of ways for a lot of people, and he's very complex. He's got a lot of layers to him.
See, that's why we love Ian. Ian is our Matt.
He's also had a bit of a redemption because in the first book, he was not a very likable character. He was affected by the dagger. He was snapping. He was
But
possessed.
to be fair, we still loved him through it all. Like we were just like, Matt's got to recover from this.
You
There's
felt bad
zero
for him
doubt
for a
in our
little bit.
Nice, Matt's dagger.
Ooh, now Zulus is loyal as RJ. Huh.
Ooh, fun.
That's another good one too, because Loyal is literally writing a book.
I do love that.
I do love that, and I mean, you all have heard the theory that Loyal is the one writing.
Yeah. We've thrown that around.
We thought we came up with that ourselves, and then it's like, oh, it's apparently that's like a common theme. Ian and I talked about that a little bit at JordanCon.
Yeah, same.
So I mean,
yes, that's definitely interesting.
I could see that. I mean, because Loyal's another character you connect with automatically, and even though you hadn't been here for 5 freaking books, like you still miss him, you still think about him. So,
yeah.
I mean, I still like the Matt theory, but
Matt's a bit of a wild card, and what little I know about Jordan, and I only know what Alan and some other co-hosts have shared without spoiling us. He doesn't seem like that wild card type person.
Have you seen the pictures? I brought a picture of Robert Jordan and Terry Pratchett side by side in their black hats. Have you seen this?
I didn't see this one. No.
So Matt is known for wearing the hat, right? And if you look at many of the photos of Robert Jordan, biographical photos, he's wearing the Matt hat.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I have seen that. This is true. So I threw Perrin out there
Terry
because
Pratchett wears the same hat. There's a great picture. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. But I was gonna throw Perrin out there because the way Jordan writes. Oh yeah. I've seen pictures of him in that hat. The way Jordan writes, he's very like methodical, detailed. In this book, I'll use the word long-winded and redundant sometimes. And you know, at least up until now, that's kind of Perrin's character.
Mm-hmm.
Am I long-winded and redundant?
I mean, it makes sense that all of the male characters, in a sense, or at least
have some flavor of Jordan.
Have some flavor of the author, right? I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure it's hard not to pepper yourself in as the seasoning du jour as you write, but
I mean, I would go so far as to say that all of the characters in the story have a little bit of Jordan.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Just as we are all little tiny bits of God,
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just we are the creator incarnate. So
but you
is
can
Matt.
see, like
A spring.
Loyal's fierce loyalty to Fael would, hopefully he tries to exemplify. There's certain parts of each person that you would say, yeah, you would hope at least your ideal character who you are. I mean, I don't know. So the book that we're on now, and our readers have not read the 3 most recent chapters that you have, but from what we have, Rand has tried or apparently did cleanse the taint. What are your thoughts about any of this?
You got to watch that thing good.
Taint. I mean, taint gets dirty, man.
It's so small, but so important.
Correct.
It gets dirty. It's dirty.
We're still assuming, there's still a great bit of assumption that he thoroughly cleaned the taint. We know he did something.
Yeah.
We have a physical description of what was left over when he was finished, but we don't know for certain.
Which
that
is
the taint
the
is fully
hole
clean.
in the ground, the pit.
Yeah, the big old pit. And Shadow Logoth is no more.
Does
it is a pit.
that have
Did you
repercussions?
use wet wipes? Because let's use wet wipes. You just don't get it.
They weren't
White.
invented.
They weren't invented.
The
No,
taint
they
ain't
were
fully clean.
invented and then gone away.
The
Look.
taint-
See, I love you.
get a-
I love
you get
this
a
guy
rabbit.
or girl.
Thank you, Cranium.
Yeah, time traveling Tam. Glenn's asking for time traveling Tam.
Traveling tab. So
As soon as we get to
you
the
asked
beginning.
the question. I do believe that we're finally at that pivotal point. I mean, the series has to end at some point. And we know the last book is essentially an entire battle. So this, I have to believe in my heart of hearts, is that moment where we have literally shifted and the taint has been legitimately taken care of. So that's where Ian and I kind of differ. It happened really quickly and without very much explanation. So that's the part that kind of bothers me. I'm like, dude, what?
Agreed.
How
I'm
and
right there
why
with you,
and
Chris.
where did you discover how to do it? And like, you didn't just read a bunch of books and not at all. Like, we didn't get any of that insight. Like, zero. And maybe this is a gap.
That's all his
in
library
Jordan's
time
writing.
and tier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But
Yeah,
again,
but it's annoying that we show up in the future 6
Correct.
days or whatever in this book past where the thing happened, and we've not gotten I have an unpopular opinion. I will own it. I don't want this to negatively reflect on
you didn't have
anyone else.
anything to write.
Let's
Yeah.
do it, Josh.
But my negative opinion is that RJ didn't know yet how long the series was going to go on for at this point. So I hear you, Chris, but I think that he's healthy at this point, still writing. This series could have gone 20 books.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So there is no, at some point an impetus got lit, presumably, to start bringing some closure in and to start reeling the story in. But this book, if any book does, Crossroads of Twilight demonstrates that this story is nowhere near its reining in point.
No.
Yeah.
This
But he
does not
had to
feel
make
like the
it
point
happen.
at which the author is like, oh, I'm going to start pulling in all these threads. No, we're just fucking spooling out thread like crazy in this book and not resolving any of the open questions. In fact, leaving a bunch of really important questions unanswered as yet
Yeah.
at the
Sure.
start of the story.
Yeah.
Now,
It is a bold choice.
it is.
Sometimes the bold choice is the only choice.
I mean,
And I get it. As an author, it's what you do, right?
As of now, this book has been. We had the ending with Rand and Nynaeve sitting in a cross-legged, staring at each other, battle going on around them, and then this book so far has been meanwhile, over here, and then things happen, and then all the Aiel wise women are just staring off to the north. And yeah, to your point, it's this is a little meandering, I think. But you guys are
Well,
knee deep right now in what's called the slog. You guys,
Yeah.
it gets way better. The next book is actually fire. I like.
That's what I
The
hear.
next book is the last book Robert Jordan himself wrote, correct?
Correct.
Well, and see, I'm looking at the thickness of these novels, and I'm like,
It's thick.
they're
They're
very
girthy.
girthy. But they are starting to get smaller.
They get bigger.
And
Yeah,
just with a
so-
glimmer of hope, he smashes it down with a giant book.
Yeah. He's going for thickness.
A
They
brick
get
of a book.
They get thick.
Wow.
All right, so let's talk about Rand himself, the dragon. Let's talk about Luce Theron in his head. Let's talk about
Is
prophecy
this
in
man
general.
still there? Like, he hasn't been around in a while.
We haven't heard about him for a while. Okay, so hang on. I'm going to take a step back. So,
Okay.
Arthurian legend, messianic expectation. Where do you two land? How do you frame the Wheel of Time within your understanding of those two things? And do you think that have you looked at the story through those lenses at all on your podcast?
Good question.
Okay, through what lens? I'm sorry, I missed part of that.
Arthurian legend and messianic expectation. Two separate things. Arthurian legend, right? We have a character, we have a literal sword in the stone.
Yeah.
We have characters named one or two letters off from names within Arthurian legend.
We never talked about it.
Yeah.
Never
There's also a lot of
Not directly.
No.
But so I think, well, I know from what Alan and other people have told us that Jordan, draws from many different religious backgrounds, histories, everything, and he throws things in the story that are familiar to us, and some small storylines that might feel familiar and tropish, but he wants to very cleverly add his twist to it.
Yeah.
So even the Messiah thing, there's this prophecy of the dragon that will come and save us, but also he might destroy everything. So like the flip side was already present from the get-go. And as it unfolds, even just, following that train of thought, it looks like it's even messier than that. And it might not even be Rand himself. Well, it's not Rand himself. It's going to take, many others kind of working together to have some sort of resolution.
Correct.
So
Again,
I don't think it's going to
Caitlin
be.
is going to be the one who bears the brunt of most of the saving of the world, in my opinion. That's my theory. But
Yeah.
the messianic expectation thing is interesting, and I do think there's a lot of familiar territory that he does put his own kind of fresh spin on. In both of these domains, both the Arthurian legend and the Christian, Western, mystical.
I'll give you that because there is that layer, but then underneath that layer, he's not Jesus. Let's put it that way. He's not that character because he's not perfection at all. Quite to the opposite. He's literally driving himself mad, i.e., Luce Theron in his head. And you mentioned, what we think. What do we think about that? And what do we think about this?
So is Rand? So I think the question for us, and Kay, correct me if I'm wrong, is Rand a novel? Is Rand an emergent personality in this one turning of the wheel? Right. Okay. And what I mean by that is
has
he's
Rand
like that.
around
He's like
before?
that 50th Neo that did things different than all the other Neos and kind of broke the mold and was able to. Yeah,
Right.
I get that vibe for sure.
okay.
But I don't think it's Rand by himself. I think there is a uniqueness about Rand, but I think there's a uniqueness in how'd you phrase it? Like an emergent variant of
An emergent
of
personality.
Gawain. of Egwene, of Matt, of Aaron,
it's the
of
constellation. It's the constellation of
flicker.
Yeah, it's like the axis is tilted just enough, and everybody's just enough different in a way they need to be for this turning to be different.
It has to be, in order for the novel to be interesting, this has to be that turning of the wheel, right?
Bro, unless after the final battle we get like this 2-paragraph thing that eventually like sets it up to like, and then shit just starts all over again.
Exactly.
I feel like if we end on that, I'm gonna be like,
then we'll know that Alan really was a dark friend.
Right.
Yeah,
it was, because we'll kill him at that point.
Right. If it's like, and here we end at the beginning. Congratulations, you made it.
Podcast is over. Thank you guys for doing this tonight.
And I'm departing.
All right, so
Right.
I think.
Well, let me ask you a little bit about prophecy then.
Okay.
So right now, Elaine has heard that secondhand, mind you, but she heard that Min said her baby will be fine, be a healthy baby,
Mm-hmm. Fine, right. Like as in
healthy,
fine, like smoking hot.
Yeah, fun.
Okay,
yeah, super fun. Yeah, like a hot baby.
Wayne.
Super hot.
Did you
so
ever
she
find the passage that describes that, Dan? Did you ever find the like actual words from Min? I meant to go back and look at that because I feel like these prophecies are very ambiguous sometimes, you know, and it's all kind of in the wording, right? Like a lot of
Min's viewing and prophecy are two different things, right, Carissa?
Yeah,
are they?
But
are they? That's kind of the crux of my question. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kate.
No, you're right. Like, yeah, I agree. That is like kind of the crux of the.
Is Elaine correct to think that yes, since Min saw that my baby's fine, I can go skydiving, I can smoke, I can drink, I can play drums up to 9 months.
Well, this gets to the question of free will versus the pattern versus, you know, like the turning of the wheel and like whether or not things have to turn out the way they do, or it's only because of the unique circumstances and that this particular set of personalities is emergent in a way that creates a new possibility that hadn't existed in prior turnings of the wheel.
And maybe it's because there's something within their personalities and how they were raised in Edmund's Field that they have a willingness at certain points of the story to resist the pattern.
Right.
I don't think the pattern is an absolute push and pull forcing you. It definitely guides people and things along, and it's pretty strong for some folks. But the fact, well, one, there's the whole Taviran aspect. But all right, I'm getting squirrel here. With Matt in particular, I see that he's eventually going to get more understanding about this rattling of the dice thing, and eventually get to the point where instead of it just being a warning, like, okay, it's going to happen, something's going to happen, just be ready. I'm hoping that he gets to a point where he recognizes that he has the ability to influence whatever crossroads he's coming to.
So
it's not just inevitable.
In literary analysis, we call this destiny versus fate, right? Fate implies that there's a lack of control or inevitability, while destiny suggests a sense of purpose or direction that can be influenced by personal agency. And so that's the question, right? Is like, not only is it free will, but is it destiny or fate? And is the pattern destiny? And if so, then their personal choices matter a whole lot. And the little variance within each turning of the wheel is going to greatly affect the outcome. And we've already seen that, right? Like Lews Therin and the Shamia are like, yeah, we've been on the same side many times. We've been opposite sides many times. Mm-hmm. So what makes this turning unique is that Rand is now the brother in charge, right? And Lews Therin is a voice in his head. Was Rand, the reason we asked the Rand question about whether Rand's an emergent personality is, did Lews Therin ever have Rand in his head? And I think the answer is no.
Yeah, what do you think, Chris? Does Luce Theron have Rand in his head?
No, I would have to just loosely agree with the no, just 'cause I never thought about the other turnings, to be honest with you. In my mind, Luz always ends up in someone else's mind and then is strong enough to take over. That's kind of how I've operated. I've never thought that maybe he continuously ends up in a Rand, but kind of like how you get Brigitte or the others kind of just ending up in another person. Yeah, that's kind of where my mind went with this.
Have you guys ever thought about the fact that they always call him Luce Theron? I mean, is Luce Theron... will Rand ever be a Luce Theron, I guess? Where they're like, hey, Rand al'Thor, I see you're with 2 chicks again. Ha ha ha. You know, or whatever.
I mean, he could be if Luz takes over.
Well, I guess that's where my mind always goes. It's always Luz and never Rand.
It's always Luz, right?
Rand. Yeah.
And that's agreed. I think that Rand is the seed
Rand
crystal,
is the final
is the hair and the thing that disturbs the system enough that it is shooken up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have a quick question about the fate versus destiny thing, or what were you saying? What I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you. So with Min knowing these things and then saying these things to the people that are going to experience these things, doesn't that kind of throw a wrench? Isn't Min kind of just a wrench in the whole thing anyways?
Great
because it's when you go into this space of knowing your future, that changes how you
Star Trek temporal paradox.
We didn't find out.
I mean,
there's a Matrix moment here with what's her name?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of either one, but honestly, I think Destiny is the better made video game versus Fate. I mean, Fate, the 2005 video game, just wasn't that great of a game. But sorry, what are we talking about?
We're getting her
because we're a few chapters ahead. I will.
I don't think you guys are at this point.
No, we are. We're 3 chapters ahead.
Oh, okay, 3 chapters ahead. Okay.
And it's not.
All right, good.
It's not super spoily to say that this very conversation will come up in the next 3 chapters. And so I feel like we're going to get in the next maybe 3 chapters after that, or maybe directly into the next book, we're going to figure out whether or not that has an impact.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
But the other thing,
it's so hopeful.
You're
so optimistic.
I am very
optimistic. But yes.
I could be completely wrong, and you'll know as soon as you read it what I'm talking about. I'm hoping that.
Right.
I mean, don't. As soon as
no, I think some of these
that's
theories
what he was talking
are
about.
just some of these theories. I don't know. I'm so afraid that we're not going to find out the answers to some of these things, and that a lot of them are still debated today.
Well, so
In
here's
fact,
my
I know
thought
that some
process.
things are, but I don't know which ones are and which ones aren't. And then I'm just like, oh my god! I
So
hope
we have her influencing through the viewings and telling people what she sees, right? So inevitably these things are supposed to happen. I'm going to use the word supposed to happen because we also know that anytime somebody comes in contact with a Taviran, shit goes awry. Because they are literally shaping time and space around them. So we can think that her giving them this information may interfere, but I think if they had not known it, then they would not go towards that greatness or whatever the path may be.
So
And
what
then
do you think Min's relationship to the pattern is? Do you think that Min's ability has never been seen before? This is another novel thing within this turning of the wheel, as far as we understand. No one knows what Min does or how she does it. Is she seeing the pattern? Is she seeing something different? What is it that's going on with her that allows her to make these predictions and have them always be true when she understands?
Wait, don't the Shan-Chan have a name for this? Right, Brother Dan?
Yeah, they talked about it. Min is
so
the illegitimate child of the Watcher. So she has knowledge. It's in the subconscious of all of existence all at once, and it confuses her because she exists during this time frame, so it's hard for her to view everything all at once. But occasionally,
Min is
those
the
viewings show up.
child of the Watcher.
Yeah, she's the illegitimate child of the Watcher. You didn't know that?
What does that mean?
It means there's a Watcher,
Marvel.
and he got bored one
Marvel.
time when he was watching Min's mom,
He was watching some ass.
and he made a baby.
And that baby was Bella.
Yeah. So eventually, the Watcher is going to feel bad and adopt her, and it's going to be Watcher plus Min.
Plus Bella.
I mean,
Fuck
this
that.
sounds very much like Death in Discworld.
Baby.
Certain things you hear, you just have to go, oh, okay, sure. That was one of those.
Cool.
But, I'm getting weird feedback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
heard that too. Ooh,
Oh, no.
Someone's echoing.
That might have been me.
Echo.
Sorry.
Echo. Oh, it stopped.
Well,
All right, it's you, Trent. It's mandatory that we go through each of these tonight.
Alan was tempting.
We need this one for our show. Thanks. I'm kidding. So, what were we talking about? I can't even remember what we were talking about.
Min.
Time
You were
travel.
talking about Min and
I'm gonna go back to Ian's theory, but kind of agree in the sense of I think she's seeing a potential future, and it just so happens that the future that she sees, you're muted, Ian. It just so happens that the future that she sees is the one that typically happens,
Or the highest probability,
highest
future.
probably. Yes, there we go.
Can you-
but not absolute.
Is it better?
Yes.
Sounds good.
I need to see you again.
Echo.
I know. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. So,
All right, so her 100% like accuracy rate is
not 100%.
The statistical, like you're saying, Ian,
No.
you think it's statistical that he's had 100% accuracy with visions that she can understand today?
It's only 100% because you're factoring in time. If you take time out of the equation, then all of her viewings happen all at once, and we could see whether they were accurate or not all at once. So I don't think she is
What does that
100%.
mean? Take time out of, how do you take time out of the equation?
sounds fun.
Well, that's up for Robert Jordan to figure out.
yeah,
But
that's
Well,
what the
yeah, but I
nitro.
can't agree with you if I don't understand. Is all I'm saying.
so if, when time is linear, which it is in her existence right now,
Mhm.
then things happen in order. And so far, the things that have happened, the viewing she's had, have been 100% accurate, or at least we're led to believe that.
Yeah, we don't
But-
know how many other viewings.
But we
she's
haven't
had.
seen from start to
Been
finish
wrong.
all of her viewings.
Correct.
There's
So
also
I mean,
a
at the
certain
current
one that
moment-
she does
At the
just
current
like-
moment, Matt Coffin's supposed to kill Randolph Thor.
Hot take.
What?
Wasn't that was one of the viewings, right? I feel
That's
like
the
there was
TV
a
show.
viewing.
That's the TV
It's a
show.
TV show.
TV show.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe I'm
Maybe they
crossing
know
things
something.
over,
No,
but
yeah,
they
yeah,
know
it happened.
something.
TV
Different
show.
turn.
TV show.
Uh-oh.
Different turning.
So let's
Oh,
talk.
I never thought
So
about it.
let's talk a little
Pause.
bit.
I never thought about it that way. Could the TV show be another turning, and could the book really end the way you think it's going to end? Where it's like,
Yeah,
and
the
there
TV
is
show
a
is another-
beginning.
That's a different turning. Yeah.
The TV show is another
Oh,
turning. I think that's how they.
man, I'm done for tonight. I need to get a
That's
bed
how there
on
is.
done.
Hopefully it's just a previous turning.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Protest. That's
His
awesome.
parent killing a child, nah. His wife, nah. That's never gonna happen.
So what do you
Yeah,
guys
Min
think
says
about
that
the
if she
magic?
knows what they mean, they always come true. But
Wow.
it's her knowledge of them that is the deciding factor.
Correct.
And this is the part that is so confusing to me because apparently she sees them as like with her eyeballs and not with like her mind's eye, right? She's not just like sees
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's a
something like a
version of the
clairvoyant
future.
sees something, she's seeing something like visual around the person, and that's telling her, that's indicating whatever she thinks, and so she has to then like translate that. It feels like a little bit of a game of telephone, you know, like
Oh yeah, well yeah.
There's a lot of room for error there.
and can get lost from like a visual to language to then trying to get it from your brain and what you're conceiving to then, like describe that. I struggle with that all the time.
Well, yeah, no,
There's
and
a little bit
lot
of quantum going on.
confirmation. What's that?
There's a little bit of quantum going on, right? Like, if she can resolve the reality by understanding what the vision means, then it comes true. But she's had lots of visions she doesn't understand, and we don't know whether or not they come true because she doesn't understand them.
Right.
Do you assume?
That's the
okay.
crux.
Well,
that
here's the question:
decides
do you
sleepiness.
assume that even though she doesn't understand them, that they do come true somewhere somehow?
She doesn't know, and so I do
Well,
not.
what do you
wager.
assume?
I would not make that wager personally.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, Matt Stagger has a good point here. She knew.
Yeah, I
it was
remember that, and that's when the battle happened with the youngins, whatever they're called, the younglings,
She
right.
Yeah, the youngins,
Yinglings.
She
The
knows.
Yinglings.
the younglings,
the altar boys.
acolytes.
Yeah. But even so, if I was in this story, even knowing what I know about men, even if she told me of a viewing and understood it and was fully confident that it was going to happen, I would certainly give that a lot of weight to my decision making, but I would still not consider it as absolute. Unless I found out at some point that men is some sort of godly being or has some connection to the creator, which has control over everything. I mean, any step away from that, and there's room for being fallible.
If
Well,
you
and
did
what-
figure out that she was related to the creator, would you then be absolute?
Or the
No.
dark, or the Great Lord. I mean, look,
'Cause
free
only
will
a Sith
appears
deals
to
in
not be of
absolute.
value
No,
to
I
the
just
creator.
wanted to make sure that.
And not getting
It's almost worse if she's related, if the connection is to the Dark Lord, because then this could be like a really long game of I'm always right, I'm always right, I'm always right, and then a setup at the end.
Yes, hopefully. Look,
so
I mean, that
I'm
makes for
gonna
good
go
storytelling.
I'm
listen,
gonna go
if
back
the,
to my
if the
original.
question is life valuable without free will? And that's what the creator delivers through the pattern, is a free will-less life that always resolves in the same way by repeating the same pattern. Is that a universe that humans want to live in? That's the question I ask you.
Which is why we are dark friends.
This is why we're dark friends.
Break
If
the
the Great
fucking-
Lord brings free will by breaking the pattern and freeing people from the cycle of samsaric rebirth that is this repetition of monotony that's been going on for endless eons, then they're the good guys in this, not the creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, this is how Josh tells us how he really feels about being on the
But-
show.
No,
But-
I 100% agree,
but-
Josh.
But a pattern.
So do we think Rand eventually becomes a dark friend or teams up with them?
Shut
Because
up,
I
Hal.
think-
Shut up, Hal.
I don't get the
Look, he
feeling
hasn't-
that
I
if
wanna
he was
hear what
given
you
a clear
think.
choice, Rand is not going to choose to be like, all right, reinstate the wheel, let's loop it again. I feel like he's enough of a rebel, and so is Matt, and
Right,
quite a few
agreed.
of our characters that given the opportunity, you
Break
know,
the fucking-
they're going to break it too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why Rand is that exceptional version of himself, like why he's different.
He's the emergent. Yes, if he's the emergent
Yeah.
thing that's going to break the wheels
Well,
and free
but so-
humanity.
Break the wheel.
Look, hold on, but going back to men first, like these images are more like auras, or like they're
Mhm.
pictures of the people, and you know, when you use the word aura, you think about kind of like curtains. You're kind of just thinking about like here one time, the next it could look slightly different. It could be a slightly different color, a slightly different hue. It could be a slightly different image.
Mhm.
And the same thing with a pattern. Patterns A aren't always perfect, but the idea is that you're going to get a lot of interweaving stitches that create a singular image, but each
Yeah.
individual stitch flows its own way. It gets tied off, and then you take it another direction. So it's not that it's going to continuously repeat the same thing. We see that because even looking at Brigitte, she's lived 1,000 lives. She's still
Right.
Brigitte in every single life. She's living different adventures in every single turn. So it's just this idea of reincarnation, which you're coming back differently. One day she, comes back and she's, a knight. The next time she's just a simple stable person. Now she does inevitably end up in the same war, and that's the part of the pattern that needs to be broken, which is this conflict to stop the pattern from repeating. Now, if this war was ended and stopped, then the pattern can maybe continue to finish the picture, and maybe that's when we get like the end instead of a new beginning.
Yes.
You know what I'd like to see? If I combine my Matt theory with wanting Min to be wrong with one of her viewings that she knows to be right. I want,
Matt
I want a rehash of a viewing of Min's, like, this is what I know crystal clear that's going to happen. And then in the next chapter, we have Matt finally figuring out, all right, the dice is rolling. There's this inevitable thing about to happen, and finding a way to change it, do something different, break through. And the next chapter, when she, Min runs into him or somebody else again to have the same viewing, she recognizes that, like, one of the things that she sees around him has changed.
But that's the
Like
thing.
a
There are
crystal clear
people that she
change.
sees
And that's when
she
they
can't read
realize
them,
they
and
can
there's people
affect
that
it.
she sees that it does change.
No, but I mean, one of the ones she knows. Like how Zool
I
pointed
guess.
out, like when she sees it and totally understands what it is, like it comes true. So I'd like to see her have one of those with somebody. Matt find a way to break through this dice rolling and have some sort of control, affect some sort of change, to have a
If
different
anybody knows
outcome.
that will be Matt.
All right.
And
So
then she views again and it's different. And then that's when they realize, holy cow, it's not inevitable. We can actually affect this. We can make changes.
outcome. So Aelfin and Eelfin, aliens or not? Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Maybe they were the original race. Maybe they were the ones who put the wheel in place.
I'm not saying aliens, but aliens.
Like Alf, but without
Alf?
hair.
Oh, but without eating cats?
They're the
Are they
progenitors.
from the world that Celine was trapped in when we first started?
No, they from way back and forever.
Yeah.
Well, think about the song and about the four promises and the things in the game and snakes and boxes that you can't do, that you sing, that are on the outside of the board.
Thanks, Riker.
Thanks, Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so let's talk in tiny. Who the fuck are these creatures? When Matt went through this doorway, where did he go? Where are the portal stones?
Where's
taking him?
fucking
Where are the
Moiraine?
wicked? I mean,
Okay, hang on. Do you
Moiraine.
think Moiraine's coming back, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Dead or
coming
alive?
back.
She coming back?
The end.
Yeah.
I agree.
Moraine's alive.
Coming
Yeah,
back.
Okay, good.
we knew at the moment she
Yay.
left.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Good.
So
Thank you,
now-
Alan. You can leave now. Thank you.
What? What's happening?
Don't say Moraine is dead because your pants might catch on fire.
Oh.
Well,
I
maybe
mean-
dead, but not dead for good.
Not
And
for
depends
good.
on how you define dead
Back.
in these
mean-
books.
We've already
Yeah.
seen
We,
in
we, know,
theory
we
that
know we know that as the wheel of time turns, that people come back. So
No,
I
no,
think
no.
she's
She's
already
coming back.
in,
knows-
in thousands and thousands of
She's
years,
already
I think
there.
she'll be reborn. Yeah.
What about
What about
look,
Cat's
Lanfear's
like-
back, right?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
all over the place right now.
So
All
could
right.
Moiraine be
Lord.
a dark friend right now? Could the Great Lord have taken her? And
So could
reincarnated
Moiraine
her?
have a Cora Suvra and be being manipulated the way Lanfear is right now? And we only saw two around Moradin's neck. Could there be a third that's Moiraine's? We know the two are
Ooh. Did we talk about this at one point? I hope not. Like, I hope that she didn't get trapped by him, and I hope that she comes back stronger and ready to
throw down.
help Rand
But even-
throw down.
Even if
That's-
she's trapped,
my
that's
prayer.
just another side quest for our heroes to go release her. So yeah,
Right.
she's coming back.
Absolutely. She's got
Side quest. Let's do it. Next book.
All right. Okay. Side quest. All right. So define the side quest. Real fast.
Hashtag
Give us
save
your-
Moraine.
How was Moraine saved?
Chris knows.
She's obviously released.
Chris
and-
knows.
I can tell you right now.
Chris, who saves her, and what's he
Tom
riding?
comes in on a magical unicorn.
Hell yeah!
And swoops in and saves her.
Tom and the
That's what
Nice.
happens.
Tom on the unicorn. Okay.
I have a theory that she's gonna end up with Tom. Like, it's been my
no,
thing.
no, clearly they're
Oh.
together. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We
Okay.
saw it in the love letter that she left him.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, Moiraine left Tom that love letter.
Well, it was either a love letter or it was her saying, "I could tell you this now because I'm probably dead, and I'm the one that gentled your nephew. Peace out."
Do you think she said this message will self-destruct like Inspector Gadget?
Mission Impossible style.
I think that was assumed. I think it was
She's saying,
assumed. Tom's been around.
I'm carrying your baby.
I think Tom becomes her new warder now that Lan is with.
I'm gonna be an awesome warder.
Oh,
Awesome.
That's always been my theory. That Tom
That's
ends
how
up
he
with
becomes Tom the White.
can you be
Yes.
a limping warder?
He's also going to become Tom the White. Like, he's going to have a unicorn. He's going to have powers. Like, he's going to be awesome. You've given me the final piece of my puzzle.
Oh my
Thank
god.
you.
Okay, what do you guys think about Cad Swain at this point? Do you think that she is going to? Do you think she's
Bruh,
like
that's
on
me.
Rand's
question.
side and like wants to help?
Yes.
No, Rand.
No.
Rand is a means to an end. He's a tool.
Correct.
He's a
Agreed.
tool for her. For what though? What do you think?
She's more conniving than even Moiraine was.
I agree. I
Right?
totally agree.
I mean, is she just old school and doing the same Moraine shit, but just more?
Better at it, older.
She's
Hey.
more
Moraine.
She has
Moraine.
She's
She's got,
past.
bigger agenda. It's like the last battles,
Right.
like not even her main focus, I think. Like she's got bigger shit. Maybe beyond that. Or maybe, like it's more more
Plus,
than
she's
that
the one
for
that
her.
helped kind of shove Moraine and them on their path.
Yeah. Totally.
She definitely is.
Well,
She's
No
been
matter-
What about
the
Varen,
outcome.
though? What about Varen and her intentions? Do you guys think Varen is good? Like, or do you think Varen is doing like some sort of means to an end thing, or do you think that Varen really is like there for, I don't know, Rand, like trying to help him right now, or what? She seems kind of duplicitous to me. What do you think?
I put Cat Swain and Varen right now in the same category,
Yeah.
and that is similar to what you're saying. They're thinking bigger picture, and when I say bigger picture, they're thinking, all right, no matter the outcome of the last battle, no matter what happens, the wheel is broken, or we, start taking another turn, or who knows what. But they're thinking, what's the next step?
Mm-hmm.
They're not just thinking about leading up to the battle. I think we're led to believe that Cad Swain is like leading the show here within their relationship. But I think Varen right now very much has her eyes and is watching Cad Swain. And yeah.
You caught that she almost poisoned Cat Swain, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, well, no,
And
I didn't catch it, but that doesn't surprise me.
It was in this book or the last book.
Yeah.
There was a moment where Varen decides not to poison Cad Swain based on her response about Rand.
Yeah.
And there's this complex moment where, like, she's like, "Oh, she's being more forthcoming than normal,"
Mm-hmm.
and there you can see they're playing one another.
Okay, yeah.
I can't.
Varen was making tea for Cat
Varen's
Swain.
making tea, and she
Yeah.
like palms this bottle back into her sleeve.
Okay.
was not sure about Cad Swain's intentions, and then it sounded like Cad Swain was really being like truthful and yeah, like Josh said, more forthcoming, and so she ended up not. And she really thought like genuinely that Cad Swain's like there to benefit
We
Rand.
need a book quote in Noman Garden.
But is that Varen defending Rand and protecting Rand, or is that Varen thinking she's too much of a wild card, too much of a threat? Let me take her off the table, and then deciding, no, maybe she will be useful.
Well,
maybe Varen sees her as somebody she can play to help her out.
Varen's a dark friend.
Okay, so wait, pause.
That could be.
I just got back in because my internet left. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
So I love Varen.
Yeah. I love Varen too.
And with her being, she's super sharp, super intelligent.
Oh my
like,
god.
Nice.
Dagger. Thank you. You lovely person. We love you.
Wow,
Yes, you're absolutely right, Matt. Who wouldn't want to poison? I actually like Cad Swain, so I can't say that. I hope that she becomes the second hero that we all want her to be, or I want her to
So
be.
if you guys insist that Varen's a dark friend, what does that mean? She's Black Aja.
Yeah, but hold on.
If that's what you're saying.
I like
All right,
her
go on.
too much. I like her too much. So I don't feel like she's in this because she wants to be, but because she has to be. I don't know if she's either a double agent or she's forced into it, but I want her to be on the better side of things. I want her to be there for Rand. Like that's really my answer. Like I want her to be like the double agent that ends up giving Rand the information he needs.
I think she's a double agent too, Chris. I think she is a dark friend. And we saw her obsession. Do you remember like early on, maybe like book 5?
Oh, she's super obsessed with Rand. And
well, not just with Rand, but she was obsessed with
doing.
prophecy.
Yeah.
That fuck. It's the details are not in my brain at the moment. This is like too long ago. But there's this moment where like one of the 3 girls comes to her office and she's reading this prophecy and you can see it's like captured her in this way.
Yeah. She's not your typical Brown in the sense that she doesn't always remain scatterbrained and unfocused. She's got a keenness to her that I feel like she could have probably been a blue, but she decided to go brown. Like that's how I feel about her. She could have been blue, but decided to go brown.
Right.
No.
Women.
There you go. Boom. You've explained her in one word.
Done.
We can always count on Dovey to come through with the one word, like to sum it up.
Thank you. You've done it in one word. She is a woman.
All right, so we if you have to predict the death of any main character.
Perrin.
Oh, Fael's about to die.
All right.
No. I have all the hope that she's going to have a whole litter.
I think Perrin's
like
going
6 babies at one time.
I think Perrin dies before the end.
I hate to say it.
But I don't think that means we lose Perrin in the story. He could die and then still have a role to play in the dream world. Him and Hopper are going to save the day from the inside.
He becomes the next Hopper in the Wolf Dream.
Yeah.
Oh, what if he just takes over?
And there's a battle that has to happen there too.
Right, because we have what's his face, the Lord, the guy from the Two Rivers, Lord Strider.
Oh yeah, yes.
Luke.
Strider and
Lord Strider.
Lord Luke and Strider, who are like
Lord Luke.
Like that's another complicated thing. Like, what the fuck is that about? How are there 2 personalities in one body, and they like can interchange, they come back and forth in the dream world and reality?
Are people like that a breakdown in the pattern? Is this me? That's funny. This because Karma Guidance coming?
A glitch in the pattern?
Yeah.
And we talked about this the other show. What happened to the bubbles of evil? Remember how there were these like bubbles of evil that would like come and like splurt up and like reality would like go fractal?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
there'd be little
bubbles.
mini Rans and like mini Mats like on playing cards and
The
shit.
Michael
like,
Bublé's.
He took a Tums.
Michael.
yeah,
No more gas.
The Michael Bublé's.
Alan.
Michael Bublé.
That's what we call it on our podcast.
Yeah.
The Bublés of evil.
The
Bublé?
Bublés.
Michael Bublé is a fucking amazing vocalist. I don't know what you're talking about, Alan.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
wonderful.
Guys, this has been
Josh.
awesome. I think Ian, we gotta get going.
We still need Ian to talk about time traveling Tam.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
all right.
Yeah.
Give it to us before you go.
We'll have to do this.
Oh my
another
goodness.
time, too.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we might have to dedicate some episode time strictly to that. We haven't come back to this theory in a while. I still think it's a thing. I thought it early on about Tam, you know, if he was really trying to hide Rand and assuming he knew who Rand was, that it wasn't just enough to move location, but if he can hide him in time, it'd be even better.
Mm-hmm.
But then it still boggles my mind that Tam is out of the story. Like, yeah, he was back kind of hold down the fort at Edmonds Field, but I mean, with all this other stuff going on in the world and Rand is off doing all these crazy things, Tam just didn't seem like the character that, even if injured or whatever, that he was just going to sit back at home and be like, well, I'm going to just ride the pine and let these young whippersnappers take care of the world for me.
Yeah.
So
So where is
Tam's either dead or
No.
he's like jerking off in the Two Rivers. Like, yeah, which is it?
No, he's
He's-
traveling the world via time travel.
right. So if he had the ability to time travel early on to hide Rand,
The flicker,
then
flicker.
when Rand is found out and all of this is happening, is Tam going to go join the fight with them, or is he going to use this knowledge he has of his time travel
Huh.
to move around and fight in different places
Wow.
at different times? So Tam is still in the fight right now, just not right now, right here, right now.
Okay.
Ian, you
Maybe
mentioned
Tam
time
is
traveling
triggering the
to.
renewal.
You mentioned time traveling to hide Rand. Does that mean that he knew that baby Rand was the dragon?
That's what I was gonna say. It's always seemed like that time period was just like, how the fuck was he there and getting this baby, and now he's here and he's there like in future stories, like it's weird how much shit he knows, and it's all from
And-
different time
So
periods.
for time
And
travel,
when he teaches him and
technology-
trains
Love that.
him, and he teaches him to find the void, and there's all these subtle things that Tam passed on to Rand
Yeah.
that infused him in a certain way that made him, prepared him for this journey he's
prepared
going
him
on.
to be the unique person that he
Yeah.
is, the unique flavor.
Yeah.
So high technology. So I've always thought that everyone who can do magic implies genetic engineering in prior eras of this turning of the wheel.
Yes.
And that during the Age of Legends, genetic engineering led to the Taveran and people who can do magic and all of that.
Sure.
So
Is it really even
travel-
magic?
a piece of lost technology, like the Mercedes-Benz emblem,
Yeah,
in the
totally.
fucking museum kind of thing, or
Yeah.
Totally. Maybe even emblems like that, or like give some sort of portal power to that time period or something, to where like Tam can use that as I don't know. That's fucking crazy. I love that theory.
I love that idea.
We haven't had opportunity in the story to jump back on that theory, but I do feel like it's going to come back. If Tam rides the pine for the rest of these books, I'll be very disappointed, because he just seemed pretty badass and awesome, and he's got more to offer.
And so let me clarify. Your belief is that he sought out the baby. Okay, did he kill Tigray and then get the baby if he so wanted the baby?
I think she was already dying. I think it was
So-
like a mercy blessing.
Yeah. I mean, if he was told like that it was some sort of like maybe he was told about a prophecy and something had to happen with Rand as a baby, and then he, I mean, there was a prophecy, right? So like maybe he knew of that prophecy, and then he was there for that reason. But maybe there was another one that was more so about like something going a certain way, and if that wasn't going that certain way, then he would do anything by any means necessary. He's proven that before too, with like Moraine time and time again. He will do anything by any means necessary to make sure that this happens, like this Rand thing happens and has gone forward up to this point at least, right? So
what if Tam is the Watcher and he got tired of watching the wheel go round and round and round? He said, fuck it, I'm getting involved this time. And he went and snatched that baby.
Yeah.
And went to Edmund's Field.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, it's hard being
and
the
had
Watcher.
illegitimate men at some point.
If you're the Watcher, all you hear in your head is the wheels on the bus. Over and over and over again.
I got to do something to change this.
I love how you threw in illegitimate men, because it does feel like men could super be like a mistake in the pattern, and that's why she was not supposed to be there. She is a wrench in the system. He like was illegitimate for somehow, from some way, in some, like, I don't know. It would just be it's kind of funny that that would totally make sense.
That's the chink in the armor of the pattern right there.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull on that thread and everything comes apart.
Right? Yeah. Good stuff, guys. These were fun conversations.
Yeah. I was going to ask you and Ian and Chris, speaking of Tam, do you have any thoughts about the blood of Manetheren and the old blood sayings and all this shit? How Matt was saying old tongue without even learning it beforehand. Egwene thought that she should have understood it. Do you guys...
This is the genetic engineering part that I always talk about. Yeah.
Do you buy into that? Is that what's going on with the blood of Manetheren sings and all that?
It's like reusing a hard drive and over and over again. You can have echoes of things previously erased, or if you don't fully erase it and you just keep writing over, then the stuff from before is still there, just kind of buried underneath.
That's awesome.
And now, because it's all coming apart, like you're exposing some of those layers from underneath. It's all melting into one.
Right on.
I never really thought about it as genetic altering until you spoke about it. Now, I had the theory that everything was technological based after we found out that it was indeed a post-apocalyptic world. Because Ian said that third show, he's like, yeah, this is post-apocalyptic. And I was like, no. He's like, I'm telling you it is. And as we figured it out, I was like, man, he's right. And then it was like, well, then this is all technology related. So what was the switch that got flipped? Was it radio? Was it...
Well, Viridian's really what shows us, right? Like when they go back and we meet the Ents and they sing the song to bring the crops up, and we see them in flying cars and shit. I mean,
yeah.
The show really does lean into that in a way that the books do not. So it's a little hard for me to decouple that from my experience now, having watched the show, which is, for what it is, better or worse, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that. Given the old,
I have one last. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I like that question I was asked in the chat. Thank you. Given that the old blood is only in the first few books, but then forgotten, was that a change RJ made because it wasn't needed anymore?
To be determined.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that feel that way for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we're done with that. Matt is a fine example of how we're not done with that yet. And then if you
this is another bit about Matt, that we could get into some other time, because I know he needs to go. But the question of where his memories, how the dagger left him basically porous, that he was lacking memories from his own life, and then his experience with the Aelfin gave them the opportunity to shove a bunch of heroes' memories into him to create this amalgamation of ancient generals.
Well, what did he ask them though? What was his request? He wanted all of his memories back.
All of his memories back. Yeah, so they gave him memories, but they're not just his. And this is actually something we've gotten into a little bit on the show, is contention around this. He says they're not all his memories, which implies that they're not all his previous life.
They're not all of Matt's memories.
Right.
But
are they
all the memories of the soul that keeps getting brought back?
Right. Are they all of like
Like
reincarnated Matt's
Brigitte
memories?
has all of these memories.
Yeah, that's just what I assumed.
It's Brigitte's memory.
Yeah, there's some text, there's some specific quotes that Matt makes about this specific topic in this book that were pretty fascinating. Where he very much disavows that idea, which does beg the question. Yeah, he didn't ask for his memories, right? So yeah, this is a complicated one that we could probably look at textual evidence for and get much more detail into the nitty gritty of it, but it's time to do that.
Yeah, but if you play that all the way out,
he wanted the holes in his memory filled.
Holes in his memory filled.
Yeah.
What if they're really messing with them and they're going to fill it with all the memories of everyone ever? And so if this plays out all the way to the end, like Matt just goes mad
from them,
Or like
with the ultimate knowledge of everything. You know, the human brain can't even hold that. We would just
yeah.
It's interesting.
Maybe
that the
just all memories of heroes. of the Horde.
That's what I was about to say. It's interesting that the memories that he has so far as we know, have not come from any dark friends.
That we know. Yeah, correct. And the dice are something entirely different than the memories. The dice are its own fucking weird thing.
Right. Yeah.
Also, dagger still also possibly related to the dagger, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
potentially.
Well, and we still don't know where the Wolf Brothers really come into play here.
Right.
Now that you mentioned genetic altering, I'm like, well, there's our answer.
I think so. Yeah, exactly.
There are a lot of storylines that need some attention.
All right, I have one last really quick question for you guys that I just have to ask.
Do it.
For President of the United States, Egwene or Elida?
Elida. Bye.
Elida.
I'd have to go Egwene.
Ooh.
I knew you were going to say that, so I said Elida.
Yep.
I feel like I'd be a bad father given my daughter's name is Elida if I didn't say Elida.
That aside, though, Josh.
Daughter's name Elida.
Not related to the books, but
It's a beautiful name.
It's a Dutch name.
Hey, say your Egwene prediction, Josh.
That Egwene is the one I already have, Ryan, that she bears the brunt of saving the world.
Yeah.
Egwene is ultimately the hero of the books. Even though it looks like it's going to be Rand right now.
Ian has a theory that she too is Ta'Veren.
Yeah, we do as well. I think all of the girls are Ta'Veren.
That's
the girls
his theory.
There's plenty of evidence of that so far.
How many Ta'Veren are there, do you guys think?
Well,
in the world or
Are every great general, are they Ta'Veren?
No, and we talked about some of them like kind of being Ta'Veren when the pattern needs them to be Ta'Veren, and then not Ta'Veren at other times too. So like I think sometimes people are and sometimes they aren't too. So I don't know that that's like a question we could super answer.
How about Tom? Is Tom Ta'Veren?
Sometimes.
No, because Tom goes with the flow and just reacts to whatever's presented to him. He's not Ta'Veren. Ta'Veren, you want somebody that has moments of non-conformity. That's like, F this. We're gonna.
How about Luke of Allen or Bail Doman? Are they Ta'Veren?
No.
Nah.
They just get sucked into Ta'Veren.
They've been Ta'Veren.
No.
How about Loyal?
Yes.
Who? Loyal?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Loyal. No, I don't think so. I think Loyal is an observer.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be. He's on the outside looking in. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How about Tuon?
Yes.
Need more
It's
information.
really-
Not enough information.
We don't know enough about her yet. Agree, and yeah.
Yeah.
No,
How about Lan?
Could be if he wanted to, but he fights it. He's resisting.
Yeah.
Wait, is that even
What?
an option?
What?
Whoa!
Resist
Hold on, you
Tavares.
can fight Tavares?
No.
No, he's so manly,
It's yet
Dan.
to
He
be
can.
unlocked.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
he had.
Lan
It's
can.
like how Nynaeve had that mental block that prevented her from channeling. He has some emotional damage, and he seems overly confident, but there's a certain lack of confidence inherent in him because of the death of his family and everything, and he's holding back. There's more about Lan that's going to be unlocked for sure, but we're not there yet.
Okay, how about
Bella!
all right?
No, only because Bella can't create herself. So, being the creator, she's in the hierarchy of things, gradations of things. She's above Taviran.
Correct.
So cute.
All right, one final quick question. I know you gotta go, but all right. So we've heard about Forsaken meeting with the Dark One, right?
What are Forsaken? You mean the Chosen?
The Chosen. We've heard about the Chosen meeting with the Dark One. Could
Yeah.
Rand meet with the Creator?
Me.
He
Great question.
grew up with the creator. They used to haul goods from the farm to the town.
Precisely.
Cute.
That's a great question.
But yeah, what do you think? I guess Josh, Chris, okay.
Could Rand meet the creator?
So,
Yeah, so is the Creator a being that Rand can talk to? Like it seems like the Chosen are able to talk to the Great Lord.
well,
I
the Great
object to the
Lord-
question. The question, there's some inference there that the creator and the Dark Lord, whatever we're calling them, are on the same level.
That's what I
Like
was
they're
gonna say.
opposites of each other.
No, the
the
Dark
same
Lord
level.
is below the Creator. The
Bingo.
Creator created the Dark Lord.
So,
So
the Dark Lord is this demigod.
You can call
Yeah.
it that if you want.
Yes, like more so like the equivalent of what people think of like as the devil, like as being in a
It's
real
more
like
Voldemort,
tangible
okay? With the cat's out of the bag.
being,
This is where
and
rolling out
God
the
is
idea.
more like a.
So it's just like a seraphim, like an evil angel.
Right, it's Lucifer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to disagree with you guys. I still think you can interpret this through a Gnostic lens and step outside of that whole paradigm of, again, that's the messianic expectation story that we feed into this. And the question is whether that's what's actually being bought and sold here. And I don't know the answer, obviously, because we haven't finished the books. But
Well, that's why I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Good perspective.
All right, guys.
I hope it's more than. I hope it's more than that.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. What were you saying?
No. I feel like just like you've got like the two powers, then you have the one power. Like I feel like
the true power.
The true power. There is a greater power, and so I feel like the dark one, whatever we want to call him, is just a human being that really mastered the use of the male side, and is able to manipulate it in a way that nobody else has been able to. And so Rand is kind of like the champion of good that's going to be able to harness that power just as well as the Dark Lord, and then they're going to clash.
Oh fuck! So it's a person, like an actual, like the Wizard of Oz is a wizard.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Do you
This is
think
what makes me think
It could be
Eggman-
Rand himself, and they're just building Rand up to become the thing that they're trying to destroy.
I
Maybe
love
it's Luce Theron.
Yeah.
Well, we saw that right in the very beginning of the books, right? And his memories of
Yeah.
killing all of his loved ones, and
Mhm.
it's like, oh fuck, I did the thing that I didn't want to do. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Eggman in the female half of the one power has to be the thing that opposes the Great Lord, because it doesn't make sense that Rand and the Great Lord battle when they're both using Sidene.
Yeah.
So is there an essence of the creator, or is that just the one power? And if so, how could it be tainted if it's from a high? Yeah, it's guys.
Well, another question about like, can the dark one be actually put away then, or like killed then? If he's a real person or like a real being, can he be like destroyed? Or can he only be like sealed away and not like tucked away? You know, like confined, right? Or can he be
right? What is Rand's
I mean,
goal?
we're also talking about this.
What is his goal?
Being. What if this power was just that essence, power, life force, and it was tainted by, corruption of the force?
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got this cleansing of one side of it. We get the yin and yang effect of it all. Like I don't feel like we're at a point right now where we understand enough about it. So,
is there an equivalent of the true power for quote the creator? And if so, like I didn't realize that detail, Dana, that the true power is the essence of the great Lord. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it makes sense with the fucking saw and all that, like that there's something going on that's different than the one power, but like ultimately should the one power be wielded by one, or will it always be split into the yin and the yang parts?
No, Midgard.
Right.
An unstoppable force and an immovable object.
These talks are awesome, and I agree with Belen.
So funny.
I agree with Dana here that we gotta do this again sometime for sure.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes,
definitely.
Agreed.
Yeah, Chris, it's nice to meet you.
It's very nice meeting you guys as well.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
you
nice
guys-
to meet you.
And good to see you again.
This is
Love
so
you
fun.
guys.
We have to do it again. We have
Thank
so
you,
much more
buddy.
to talk about, and we'll have so much more to talk about, like in another book and a half too. So we'll have to like definitely
sure.
reconvene.
Yeah.
We love you and appreciate you as first-time readers. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, I'm excited.
The community really appreciates all this feedback and all your. We are Aelfin and Eelfin. We just savor your
Savor it.
savor your
Savor
experience.
it. Savor
So-
it.
I'm glad you all are enjoying. We appreciate everybody actually keeping up with this. I know it's difficult at times to listen to the same people spew the same stuff, and sometimes we get so far off topic. It's like, what am I listening to? But you guys are part of the reason why we come back to doing this. So,
Well,
yeah,
at the same time, we're invested in your relationship, Ryan and Carissa's. All this stuff is developed around the time that we started this, and it's fun to see like the growth of everyone, like individually. I love it. Yeah, like that growth. You see that? My nuts? See my nuts?
Brother D.
All right, guys. I love you and I'm proud of you.
Love
Keep
you.
reading. And
Bye.
run your lives.
Until next
This is the way to leave.
Okay, bye.